So I'm Manuel Amezcua, firm president and CEO with MassMutual Great Lakes here in the great state of Michigan. And I'm here with a very special guest, RJ King, editor, co-founder of Dbusiness Magazine, author of Detroit, Engine of America, and the creative genius behind the Detroit 500, the most powerful list of business leaders in Metro Detroit. RJ, thanks so much for giving us a few minutes today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming by.
So the very first thing that I thought I'd ask you about today is the Detroit 500. Where did the inspiration for a list of the most influential business leaders come from?
Well, we've been publishing Dbusiness Magazine since 2006, and over the years we had talked about putting a list together of the top business leaders. We thought maybe just in one of the issues we'd do a feature, but it would have been too big for that. And then we decided, well, why don't we just do an annual publication? We toyed around with two different concepts, Detroit 313, and when I compiled the list of what is the top business leaders in Metro Detroit, it went well beyond 300. So we went to 500 and still struggled a bit to get it into that format. But, there was a niche and a need in the marketplace, and we filled it, and it has been very well received.
When you first shared the book, Detroit, Engine of America, it's just such a unique perspective on the history of Detroit. And I think it's a time that maybe a lot of people don't share with folks about what created the greatness in Detroit and where that all started. There's a quote that I think of often: the rising tide lifts all boats. Can you share a little bit about how you've seen that come to play in current history in Detroit?
Well, it starts with any renaissance, rejuvenation of an area with jobs. And Dan Gilbert and Quicken Loans, they came in 2010 with about 2,800 employees downtown. They've since grown to more than 17,000, bought more than 100 buildings. But backing up, going back to the late 80s, the Ilitch family started up the Fox Theater, brought Little Caesars downtown, and then General Motors bought the Renaissance Center for its world headquarters in 1996. CompuWare Corporation, which is a big mainframe software company, they came down in 2003, and then the Quicken Loans family of companies, and it just seemed to it caught on tremendously, and people saw the investment that was coming in, and they wanted to get in on the fun and join the party, so to speak, and now there's hardly any residences downtown to get. I mean, they're just amazing activity, the bars, the restaurants, the stores, the stadiums. You've got 3 casinos. So there's a lot to do. And, we've got a great healthcare community, so we're a medical tourism draw as well. So all those things have been factoring into the rebirth of Detroit.
So as my partner Chad Miles and I were preparing for today's conversation with you, Chad briefed me on a fact that I was unaware of, which is that through about 8 months this year, you've easily attended well in excess of 200 charitable philanthropic events across greater Detroit and the state of Michigan.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Detroit, if you look nationally, is one of the most charitable communities in the country. I think one reason for that is because of the automotive industry brought so much wealth here. And it's just a good, Midwestern town with great values and very polite people. And, they want to benefit people that need assistance. And, whether it's helping the homeless, helping people in need, when they experience a medical trauma, whether it's providing a better education for our children, providing more resources in the schools, and that's really starting to catch on. We kind of went on into a trough for during the 70s and the 80s, but now it's starting to really pick up.
Yeah, and it's great. It's great to see so much energy and enthusiasm. For someone being relatively new to the market. Samantha and I have just been so thankful to land somewhere with our children that just has a genuine, authentic passion to support so many worthy causes and initiatives. It kind of pivots me to think about this long list of accolades that I saw in both your name and on behalf of Dbusiness. And so it just made me think, gosh, it probably took so many things over the course of so many years for those things to come together to lead to this level of success that you've been experiencing. But are there one or two key messages that you would share with the future leaders of Metro Detroit that could help lead and drive them to success?
Yeah, well, I've always said there's two words that really are the secret to life. So that works in business or family home or supporting the community, and that's add value. So whatever you're working on, whatever you're doing, is just a simple add value. It's those two words. Other points for future business leaders, certainly trust is everything. If you're not truthful with people, it gets around very, very quickly. And that's your calling card, your name. And if people don't trust you, they're just not going to do business with you. But those are, I think, the two defining things that I would say sum up the potential for growth for any young business leader.
So, quick bonus question before we go. So you're looking at the next 4 months before we wrap up 2019.
Yes.
What are one or two of the events on your calendar that you're just really excited to get to and support?
Well, it'd be the Art of the Wine, which is a very nice major wine auction put on by the College for Creative Studies, and that's in mid-October. And secondly would be Hobnoble Gobble, which is at Ford Fields, and it's probably one of the largest black tie events of the year. And it's a carnival, it's games, it's entertainment, all put on by the parade company that produces America's Thanksgiving Day parade.
Well, thank you so much for giving us a little bit of time today. Thanks for what you do to help us tell our story, and thanks for what you do for setting the standard for excellence in this great community.
Well, thank you, Manny. However we can help you, we've got an open door for you.
Thanks, RJ.
Okay, thank you.